All right, perfect. Here we go. So I've got Allan here on the call today. Well, actually, Allan was you were the top rookie in our Indianapolis office, and I think you were the top rookie in the region
Sweet.
for this last summer. So for one, I want to start with how did you feel before the summer started? Obviously, you've never done something like this before when it comes to door. So, what were your thoughts coming into the summer, and just how did you feel overall?
So coming into this past summer, I felt pretty confident, and the what I can kind of back up is my off-season training, consistently training with David Watterson, Cooper Powell, watching the Hawks training videos, and just learning how to learn a pitch and learning how to have a base. So that way, when I got out there, I knew that I could mess around with it, see what I can do with it, and then by the end of summer, with having that knowledge of I guess the fundamentals of pitching, it's nice to be able to take that knowledge of the fundamentals and tailor it to different types of customers. So I felt very confident going into this summer with the idea of busting my butt in the off season, building up to regular season.
Right. And have you had any like sales experience before you came out for the summer?
I mean, I worked in retail at a gas station, just basic customer service. But other than that, as far as like direct sales, no prior knowledge whatsoever.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Um, did you before coming out for the summer? Did you have any like concerns? Was there anything that you were kind of like nervous about, or anything that was kind of going through your mind before the summer started?
It's definitely nerve wracking knowing that you have to go up to random people's houses and essentially get to know them, break their walls down, get the credit card. It's definitely nerve wracking at first, but you have good leaders, you have a good environment around you, a great team. Everyone's doing the same thing consistently over and over. It's great having guys that are locked in and focused on one goal. And with having such a good like leadership background with Cooper Powell and with David Watterson, Matthew Finney, it was a little bit nerve wracking at first, but once you get the hang of it and you start knocking doors, you all that pressure, all that nervousness kind of just disappears, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, from before the summer till pretty much right now, how do you feel that you have changed just overall as a person?
I feel like I've built so much just discipline. I mean, at the end of the day, you're not guaranteed anything in this job. And so what I really appreciated about it is that you put in what you get out. And so what changed about me is the way I can read people, the way I can kind of start a conversation with people and get to know like the ins and outs of people without talking to them for too long, because essentially that's what it is. Time management's a lot better in sales. The biggest enemy is time, in my opinion, and so learning how to manage my time throughout the summer definitely helped lead into basic things like doing homework, studying for tests, going into school, and yeah, just work-life balance. It wasn't really more work than life, but learning that if you put your head down and you can kind of focus on one thing, that you can the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. So, as far as over the summer went, what was one or two kind of highlights about the summer, whether it's sales related or about the team? Talk to me about some of those.
I would say the build up to the end of the year dinner. That was amazing. Just having a bunch of guys throughout the year consistently focused on one goal, and then at the end of the year, as a team, we what I really loved is that we all contributed to that 3.2 million as a branch, which was record setting for Forge, and I felt like that was amazing to be a part of. It was absolutely amazing. The team dinners, and another highlight I would say is my 17.8 week in Peru, Indiana. I figured it out. Found a groove, found some momentum, and just kept going with it. And that week was one of the best weeks of my life. And so,
Yeah,
being able to go into an area and bring generate some revenue, it's definitely a great feeling. It's euphoric.
absolutely. No, that's awesome. What were kind of one or two of the hardest things that you experienced over the summer?
Yeah, I would say just consistently doing the same thing over and over. It can get very repetitive, but mindset can always if you're focused and you're disciplined, at the end of the day, it's David Watterson always preached this. It was by July, it's not motivation, it's discipline. And so the hardest part was definitely being disciplined throughout the course of summer and staying consistent. And then just days where you're not finding it. I mean, there's going to be days where you go out there and you make a crap ton of sales, and then there's days where you go out there and you struggle. But those days build the good days. So you can't. There's no sunshine without rain, and so being able to go, through a couple droughts, but bounce back. That's definitely the hardest part, is bouncing back from a tough day or a tough neighborhood.
Perfect. Yeah, I totally agree. Is there anything that you wish you were kind of told before the summer started, that you experienced, that you wish you maybe would have been given a little bit of a heads up about, or maybe just been better prepared for, or what were your thoughts kind of?
So what I would
that?
say is communication with the technicians. If I felt like if I was like with my note taking because at the end of the day, the technicians are the people that service your accounts, and if you're not on the same terms as the technicians as far as what to do for the certain customer, tailoring our service to that certain customer. I wish I had in the beginning months, like beginning of May, I wish I would have tailored my notes a lot better and was more communicative with technicians. So definitely building a good relationship with technicians is huge in this job, because they're the ones that service your accounts and are the reasons you get paid.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest things for sure.
For sure.
So if you were to, with all the knowledge that you've got now, obviously experiencing your first summer, if you were to completely restart your very first summer, what's a few things you would change, maybe improve, or would you have, kind of just done the same thing?
So for the most part, I would have, like in the off season, I would have trained the same way, put in the hours in the off season, so when you come out, you're prepared. One thing I would have changed is my mindset. Sometimes I would, go out there and I wouldn't do as good as I wanted to do, and I would blame it on myself. But at the end of the day, I would tailor in the perspective things that I can't control, the uncontrollables. The weather, the certain customer's day, I wish I would have taken the uncontrollables and put it behind me. And so, learning how to qualify and unqualified people a lot faster. I feel like, as veteran, as a rookie, you don't know, like, if someone's qualified, you feel like you can sell everyone. Knowing that, hey, this person is unqualified, I wish I would have left doors a lot sooner than I would have. I spent too much time with unqualified buyers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, perfect. So, how many days did you work this summer?
So this summer, I think on Pest Routes it says 91, but one of the Saturdays I went home for a graduation party, and then for 4 days I had a pneumonia, so I missed a couple of days. So I would say roughly 86-ish selling days, so a little bit under 3 months.
Okay. And based off of your numbers, your income should be right around, if I'm doing the math correct, it's probably right around 30-ish thousand for the summer.
Around there.
Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
So just shy of 3 months, 30 grand, right?
Right.
How does that make you feel? Never, kind of being promised that before the summer that's a possibility, but actually achieving that. How does that make you feel? Still being in college, being able to just work over the summer and make that amount of money.
Just being able to have the opportunity to present yourself and help people out to. It puts into perspective that at the end of the day, most jobs are 9 to 5. You put in the same amount of work as everyone else, or you put in more work than everyone else, and you get paid the same. What I love about this job is I put in as much as I can. I go balls to the wall for 3 months, and the results are absolutely amazing. And so just seeing the results of what you can accomplish when you put in 100% max effort, and seeing that, I can make close to, like, on a consistent basis, 6 figures, 10 grand a month. It just goes into the perspective that if anyone puts in the work, you can get very good outcomes to essentially change your life. I mean, it's an opportunity that most 20, 21-year-olds don't get. And so being able to have an opportunity to go out there and make as much money as I can put in, it's a great feeling. It's euphoric.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like this job potentially has kind of changed maybe the course of how you're going to operate as a person for potentially the rest of your life?
Absolutely. I'm never going to put myself in a position where I'm capped or I feel like I'm stuck, if that makes sense. Like
Mm-hmm.
Can't ever see myself working a 9 to 5. I can't ever see myself being in one position for the rest of my life. It shows that, I want to definitely be tailored to something where if I put in max effort, I get in max results. And so I wouldn't want to work a job where I'm working harder than everyone else, or I'm, putting in more work than everyone else, and I'm capped just like everyone else. So going to the idea that I can go in there and separate myself from the pack, it's a great feeling to know that I can take with me for the rest of my life.
And was that did the summer kind of forge that mindset for you, or did you kind of already have that mindset before your summer?
The summer absolutely forged that for me. Going into it, you're a rookie. It's new. It's a new land, new water, and going into it, you have no idea what you can get out. But then once you realize that, hey, this is an opportunity that no one else gets, and so as tough as it is, and as annoying as it can get, I mean, it's the risk to reward outcome is so much more worth it than doing a guaranteed internship for like $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to put in, I keep emphasizing it, but being able to put in max effort and getting max results is life changing.
Absolutely. So on a scale of 1 to 10, now that you've experienced a summer, 10 being it was much harder than you had anticipated, 1 being it was much easier than you had anticipated, where do you feel like you fall on that scale?
Oh, I give it an easy 8, 9. I mean, on paper, you see revenue that these guys are putting up, and it's a lot easier said than done. I mean, these guys go through all different types of stuff on the doors, all different types of challenges and different things that people have to face every single day. But at the end of the day, it's the guys that are consistently motivated aren't making excuses. They're on top of their stuff. They're very goal oriented. They have their why, which is I believe is very important. Is having a strong why is obviously makes the job a little bit easier, but on paper, $120,000 in revenue is a lot harder or a lot easier said than done. So
Yeah,
just being able to go out there and produce those numbers and having those numbers on paper, it's a great feeling. It's very rewarding.
absolutely. Perfect. And last question for you. If you had, whether it's one piece of advice or just some advice for somebody that is brand new, never done this before, they're kind of in the same position as you were before this most recent summer,
Yeah.
what would you tell them?
Well, I would tell them do not go out there blindly because I've seen it happen, and I've seen guys go out there and feel like that they can pitch without learning and going through the fundamentals. First thing I would say is do the Hawks training, do training with your leaders, go through the fundamentals, have a good base of your pitch down. Throughout the course of the summer, remember your why because that's when the motivation turns into discipline, the why takes into effect. So always having a strong why, not like I mean, everyone has their certain why, but having a very strong why, so for those tough times, you have a reason to keep going, to keep pushing. And then staying positive. I mean, the guys that never complain, the guys that never, complain to their bosses or complain about the days are always the ones that put in the best results. And that's what I've noticed. So going throughout the summer without complaining, having a why, and having some generic background in the fundamentals, training in the off season, would be the 3 things I would tailor my success to this summer, and I would kind of give some advice to someone that's just starting out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's perfect, man. I
Yeah,
appreciate the time today. Thank you for taking time out of your football
absolutely,
Sunday
absolutely, yeah,
to give us some good knowledge. I appreciate it, man.
for
Thank you.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Donald.
Yep.